Good morning, Savva from Savva Talks Spurs here. I hope that everybody is well. So after now the second round of Champions League games have finished, it's all looking very interesting in all of the groups, starting to shape up nicely. A few shocks in there. Juventus not winning any of their two games. Just by way of example, Rangers losing both of their games. Spurs have won one. Spurs have lost one. So let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur, shall we? My thought of the day is this. I had a number of debates, conversations in the last few days, but what appears to be the last few months with Spurs fans about why Spurs only have to play 3-4-3. Now, half of this you're going to have to bear with me because a lot of this, like anything that Spurs fans and football fans talk about, it's all our opinions and it's all hypothetical because it doesn't mean anything unless the manager is going to change. But I keep hearing from fans that Conte's got no options. Conte can't do anything and change our style of play because he doesn't have the players. But for me, and going off what I said yesterday, I feel like we are definitely trying to shoehorn players into Conte's formation rather than play a formation that the players would be more comfortable with. And I think there's a huge difference between going with a formation that the manager likes and going with a formation that would actually work and make us look better. And again, this is all my opinion. As I've made it very clear in the last few videos, I don't think that the football is sustainable. I don't think that the football is good. I don't enjoy watching it. It's great to win games. It's great to draw games when you're not losing. It's good to pick up points. But there are a group of fans that will say, well, I don't care how we play as long as we win. I'm not in that bucket, I'm afraid. Football for me has always been a relief, a pastime, a hobby, maybe a way of life, how much I've loved football over the years. So when I go to games and when I watch games, do I want to see my team, kind of choke out a 1-0 win playing badly? Okay, every now and then, sure. But do I want to see it week in, week out? No. Where's the enjoyment in that? Now, before I go on to this and have a look at some of the options that are available to Conte and the different types of formations that I've just tinkered about with, I'm not expecting everyone to play like Pep Guardiola's Barcelona and Man City, right? I'm not expecting everybody to play like that. I'm not expecting the Ajax way of football, the tick-a-tacker. But all I do know is with the players we've got, we should be seeing some type of football. Some sort of possession-based game where we don't constantly get overrun by the likes of Marseille, Sporting Lisbon, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Chelsea. It's becoming a bit of a bore every game. So we all know that Conte likes the 3-4-3 formation. Okay, we all know that his formation has always been heavily based on having the three centre-backs that can bring the ball out and the wing-backs that can go that way up the pitch and attack and create and join in the play, link it up. Has he got that at Tottenham? I think he's got a couple of the ingredients. But if we take that as a 5, if we look at that 5, this one here in Perisic and this one here in Emerson Royal, or probably the other way from the screen if you're looking at me, 50% of that works. The Perisic side works. But it means that the team is 50% imbalanced because the Emerson Royal side does not work. There is nothing from this man from an attacking outlet. This man is not a good footballer. He doesn't have the IQ and the intelligence to go and join in, link up play, give and go, get to the byline, give a good cross, score goals. He is not a good player. So 50% works. Now, if we look at the 3 at the back, again, forgive me, this will be my right. Probably this will be your right. But if Romero, brilliant, can bring the ball out. These two, Davis and Dyer, again, steady, average footballers without that real ability to bring the ball out. So for me, of the 5, 2 are good, which is Perisic over here, Romero's all the way over here, and then the other 3 that are dotted about, it looks very weak. Now, people will point to this and go, well, we don't concede many goals. Of course we don't concede many goals. Conte plays with about 7 or 8 men behind the ball. I would expect us to not concede many goals. But in terms of being a progressive team going forwards, this doesn't work. If you look at how Inter Milan played, Juventus played, Chelsea played, they had defenders that were comfortable on the ball. Gary Cahill, David Luiz, Azpilicueta. They were all comfortable in bringing the ball and starting the moves. At the moment, what we've got is Harry Kane dropping to the halfway line because the 2 midfielders don't start moves and the 3 centre-backs don't start moves. Now, I'm not pretending that I know more than Conte. This is just me as a football fan giving my opinion on what I like to see. So here's the first option that I wanted to share with you. This was, now I'm going to put this on the screen, but for 1 minute, let's forget who your favoured player is in each position. That's kind of not the point of what we're doing here. What we're doing here is looking at formations that could work. So if we go to a bog standard 4-2-3-1, for me, I keep hearing that, well, we haven't got the defenders to play in a 4. Well, Romero plays in a 4 for Argentina all the time. Longley's played his whole career in a 4, whether that be for France, Barcelona, Seville. He's always played in a 4. So why wouldn't those two be able to play together in a 4 for Tottenham? The left back, would you risk Perisic and risk losing him as an attacking presence? Possibly, possibly not. It depends how strong the team is. But Davis could fill in there. And Perisic could play in that position where Son is as well, which would be up here. Right? So there's options there. Now, when you look at the right back, Spence or Doherty, why can't they play right back and push forward? If you've then got the 2 centre-halves plus Basuma, Bentancur, Skipper, Højbjerg dropping deep to cover, Perisic and Doherty or Spence could go forward and join in. But what this formation does allow as well is it does allow for Harry Kane to play more as a playmaker whilst getting in Richarlison, Kulu and Son. Now, for me, that would be more exciting, having those 4 with the fullbacks going forward rather than just having the 2 central midfielders in a 3-4-3. So there are options there. Now, again, use this loosely in terms of, does Kulu play on the right? Could Richarlison play there? Does Son play on the left? Could Perisic? Could Richarlison play on the left? Does Kane play up front in the hole? What it does show is there's options there in that 4. That 4 can rotate. There's plenty of options there. So again, when I'm told by fellow YouTubers and football fans that there are no options, that there is nothing Antonio Conte could try, this isn't true. He's stubborn. I like Antonio Conte. He's achieved a lot as a manager. But at Tottenham, it's a different proposition to where he's been before. The same with Jose. These managers come into Tottenham, they've not got the players they had before. So it can't just be rigid with one formation, with top players. It needs to be trying things. And this is my disappointment with Conte, is that we don't try things. We don't make substitutions. We don't try and play any football. We don't attack teams from the off. We start games very, very slowly and then have to battle back in the second half. And that's great. But when it doesn't work, like the other night against Sporting Lisbon, that's what happens. You get picked off by better teams with better players. And it was worrying for me in the Sporting Lisbon game how easily players like Marcus Edwards and Paulinho ran through us. Some of their football was lovely and they just ripped through us. Had they have had a better striker, it would have been more. Now, let's move on from this formation. And again, please don't get caught up on the players in each position that you prefer, that you like. This is more about the options of formations. Now let's go to an even easier formation, the 4-3-3. For me, this is a good formation to play because what it does is it stops us being outnumbered in the middle of the park every single game. I can't remember the last time I watched Spurs and we absolutely dominated in midfield. So for me, this allows us to get Bentancur, Basuma and Højbjerg in there. Or Skip. Again, it doesn't matter which 3, but it allows you to get 3 central midfield players in there and get bodies to stop being overrun. You don't lose any of your attacking threat because you've got Son, Kane, Kulu, or a Richarlison that you can put in there. And again, with the front 3, you can rotate it. You've got Richarlison, you've got Kane, you've got Son, you've got Kulu, Lucas as an outside bet, Brian Hill for against lesser teams. Now, again, I'll go back to my earlier point. Why can't we play this? Why couldn't we play these two centre-backs? Dyer apparently is this great centre-back, everyone tells me, but apparently can't play in a two. But Longley can, Romero can. And again, the same premise as the last formation with the fullbacks, Davis and Perisic or Spence and Doherty, right? So I don't understand why we can't play any of these formations. Now, listen, again, I know what I'll get in the comments, and please remember this is pre-recorded. You'll get a lot of people going, oh, you don't know football, and oh, Antonio Conte knows best, and blah, blah, blah. But as a fan, I have a right, as do many other people, to say if they're not enjoying the football. I feel that there are options. Are there amazing options? No, I'm not saying there are amazing options. But are there options to shift the formation? Yes. Is there a lot to come off the bench? No, I don't think there's an amazing amount to come off the bench. But I definitely think you could start with different formations that would make us look better. Now, before I wrap this up, I'm completely aware none of this will happen. I am. But I'm just putting out there to those people that, and there's certain people who know who they are that have been telling me there's no options. Conte's got no options at all. Well, that's worrying if people believe that. If they believe that after signing 10 players in 2 windows that he's got no options. If they're telling me this after apparently he's been backed, after this was a great window when we moved early, that there's no options. And the only thing we can do against Sporting Lisbon is take Son off for Kulusevski. Very worrying for me. Now, let me caveat all this. It's been a good start to the season points-wise, results-wise. I just don't enjoy it. And I'm sorry people will say, I mean, someone called me on Twitter the other day, a forest fire of a person. I don't even know what that means. You're a forest fire of a person because you don't enjoy this football. Right. Oh, by the way, it was someone with no real picture, no real name, you know, these clowns. But the point stands. Every fan has their right. And I'm not saying anyone in the chat right now that's saying they like the way we play. Cool. Crack on. Enjoy it. I just don't. I like watching football. I don't like watching sitting back and defending for our lives and then counter-attacking. And that's what Antonio Conte is doing. So am I disappointed in the way we play? Yes. Am I disappointed in the points return? No. Am I disappointed that a manager on nearly £20 million a year doesn't ever try anything new? Yeah, I am. Leave me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. We are 40 away from the big 2K. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. I will be live tomorrow afternoon with another Q&A session. The Q&A sessions are back where we invite fans onto the show to give their piece. Please remember, if you want to come on, please have your camera on. Please be dressed. Have your real name and you can come on. You can give your point. We'll have a debate and then I'll kick you out and we'll get someone else in. Other than that, Tottenham versus Leicester, I will cover tomorrow in terms of my prediction. But as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support. And come on, you Spurs.